So hello everyone. So I'm going to cut right to the chase. Like one of the reviewers said, if you're on the fence for the Hisense U8K 75-inch and you're concerned about the IPS-ADS panel, don't be. I just came from a Hisense H9G 65-inch. That was the 2020 model that kind of put Hisense on the map as far as a serious competitor at a lower price point to the Samsung QLED, and that TV blew me away. That was one of the first TVs ever that blew me away with deep blacks and ultra bright picture. However, I had some issues with some speaker harmonics rattled, so within the first year, I had the 5-year Best Buy warranty, and within the first year, Hisense does the service, and they came out and replaced the speakers. Well, I later found out on my own that didn't fix it. I later found out on my own that it was just a harmonics issue with the bottom back plastic cover that was, you know, on the very part, because there's a two-piece cover in the back and bottom when you service the TVs. And it was actually the feet. That generation TV, the H9G had feet that kind of spread out, unlike these feet that just go straight down. And it was causing a harmonics balance, so that was pretty easy. I just had to kind of manipulate the plastic a little bit and unloose a couple screws. Not ideal fix, but better than calling them out and having them, you know, the technicians come out. Because I gotta say, they come out with the, you know, with the typical screw guns, and they over thread things and strip screws, and it just irritates me because my OCD kicks in. I don't like stuff scratched up. So anyways, then it started having a Wi-Fi issue, or it dropped Wi-Fi and I'd lose the Bluetooth on the remote. That was never resolved really fully. I thought I had it resolved after the technician came out and first put in a main board on it, and then like a couple days later it started acting up, and then we both figured out that it was the Wi-Fi card that incorporated the Bluetooth module. And when he replaced that, it still didn't work, but I decided to try to do a hard reset, a factory reset, which erases, of course, all your passwords for like Netflix and Hulu and whatever services. It kind of factory defaults. And that did fix it. And I thought for like almost a month it was good, but then it acted up again where it dropped the Bluetooth on the remote, so you couldn't use the voice command on the remote. The IR worked, the infrared would work if you pointed the remote directly at the TV, but it would freeze up on the Bluetooth, or it wouldn't pair. So he junked out the TV, which, you know, I kind of didn't want to give up because the picture still was awesome on that TV. But in the back of my mind, I said it opened the opportunity for the TV I really wanted, which was a 75-inch over a 65. Now, I had bought a 2019 LG IPS panel, and it was dark. I could never get the picture I wanted out of it. And I had owned a previous IPS panel from like 2014, and I never really thought it was a bright TV either, and the contrast wasn't as up to my liking, because, you know, the H9G was like the first TV that kind of showed what really ultra HD, and to be fair, those TVs weren't HDR TVs, but you know, just a bright, clear, contrasty picture, and that was a VA panel. Now, on the forums, this TV in 75-inch, you may or may not know, if you're on the fence for buying it, the 75-inch of the new U8K is an IPS-ADS panel, it's referred to, and the 65 is the VA. Now, I gotta say, now my H9G, while the picture on that VA panel was ultra bright, it had a lot of banding and artifacts issue, especially with lower content quality stuff like you know, DVD, and I do watch a lot of that too. This TV, I will tell you flat out, don't even hesitate on the IPS panel. This is, again, the 75 U8K, and I haven't seen any other YouTube videos. There's one couple that reviewed it. And I'll tell you flat out, don't let the IPS panel stop you. This picture is awesome. Now, I'm on my Samsung smartphone, and it's not going to show you, you know, any kind of clarity compared to what, and there's my doggy that just passed through, any kind of clarity over the phone. But I'll play this just for the heck of it and let you watch it. So here we go. Oh, let me back out for a second. I wanted to mention that this TV also incorporates, like the U8H this replaced, it has the back backward firing speakers and side firing speakers, and the sound is unbelievable. If you ever needed a sound bar before, due to, like, my H9G didn't have the greatest sound either, even when it wasn't vibrating due to the harmonics of that bottom chassis, the plastic. But this TV, you do not need a sound bar, trust me on this. So let me resume, sorry. So what I wanted to show you is the definite advantage over the IPS panel, over the VA panel. You can get almost totally on the side, and the picture quality doesn't even degrade until you get almost directly on the side. So that's the advantage of the IPS. Now you have to excuse I have skylight windows. I never did put the blinds like an idiot. I should have put the blinds above that, but I like the skylights. So it's about 3:30. On a Saturday, and it's super bright outside, and that's just been like it is all the time. You're going to get some reflection, but it still outblasts, the TV outblasts the those skylights too. I can still see it in maybe on the phone it shows different, but I can see past the skylights on it. It never really bothered me if I'm watching TV during the day. But yes, I should block those off, but I just like, I never had a house with skylight windows, so I like them. I like to just look outside through those. But anyways, so my flat out picky OCD review is I scrutinized this for the 2 weeks that I had it, because you had a 2-week return period with Best Buy. Again, they gave me a credit to buy whatever TV I wanted. And, one would say, well, why did you buy another Hisense if you had so many problems? Well, I'm hoping that was their first foray into a high-performance TV. Only time will tell. But I didn't buy the extended warranty on this one, because the standard warranty was up to 2 years on this. But again, this is the 75-inch U8K that just came out a month ago in 2023 around July, I think it was, at the beginning of July. And again, when I found out it was the IPS-ADS panel, I just heard IPS and I kind of thought, oh, this TV is probably going to go back. But the more and more my wife and I watch it, it's like, this TV is sharper than the H9G, which I thought was impossible. But, you're talking 1,500 nits versus 1,000 nits. You're also talking the impact of a 75-inch over a 65-inch. What really shocks me is this TV smokes the H9G in poorer content, aside from whatever reviews I've read. And to be fair, I haven't really heard yay or nay on that as far as lower content, but I know the H9G didn't get a lot of Hallmark reviews for upscaling poorer content, like DVDs. And I do have a lot of movies in DVD, but for some reason, either the processing's improved, and I'm not seeing the banding is in great. The banding's still there if you look for it, but it's so hard to find it. Whereas the H9G was in your face on just about everything. So I don't know if that's the IPS panel. And again, they refer to this as an IPS-ADS panel, so it might be like a little bit of a hybrid technology from what I'm guessing. Now, so it's not a pure IPS panel. So to me, the contrast in the picture is as bright as the H9G. Now, you could say, well, of course, this is 1500 nits. It should be brighter, but I would say it's comparable with the H9G, and that picture was awesomely bright. And at night, this is at 90, by the way, this is not even all the way up. And that's what I like. I don't want a TV where I have to crank it up to get the maximum picture that I want. And here's the standard remote you get with all models, pretty much, of the U8K. And let me see, I'll show you what I got. This is probably HDR, so if I go into general, I have it set up to picture mode standard. You know, I like a kind of a contrasty, bright, inaccurate picture, but you can see I got the brightness at 90, not even 100. I got the contrast jacked way up. I got the black level. There's more adjustments, a few more adjustments on this TV than the H9G, but again, you have to remember, if you're following the Hisense camp and you've been there from like the H9G on, that TV kind of set the bar, and then Hisense has been just running like a freight train with these TVs for the price and the price point issue. And I'm sure Samsung is actually, you know, trying to fumble to try to justify their prices of almost being 2.5 times more for the same TV, pretty much. And Samsung's a great brand and a great TV, but when you can get this kind of value, and again, a 75-inch would even cost you a bit more in a Samsung over a 65. But I tried to find every reason to return this TV because of that IPS-ADS panel. And I've seen on Reddit that's like a hallmark thing everybody's kind of on the fence for. Trust me, you will be blown away with this picture. You won't even know it's an IPS, other than the fact that if you have couches or chairs that go more off-angle access viewing, you won't have those people or family members complaining about not being able to see the picture, because that's the pure advantage of an IPS panel. And maybe it's because this thing is 1500 nits or around 1450. I don't know what the exact nits are, because I know with that H9G, the ratings were above 1000 nits that it was actually stated. I think these are coming in more closer to 1400, 1450 nits, so they're about what they proclaim to be. But it's plenty bright, and the fact that I could turn it down to 80%, and I hardly notice any difference. And again, I don't go for the accuracy. I'm like what Caleb Dennison talks about is the typical TV viewer who wants the pop rather than the inaccuracy, and that's just the way I am. But if I can get this, I can lower the color levels and the contrast and get it almost perfectly skin tone match what I think is real life. But again, final summary without rambling on. If you're on the fence because it's an IPS on the U8K 75-inch, remember, again, the 65 and I think the 55 is a VA panel. Don't even hesitate. Trust me, I'm not going to steer you wrong on this. The U8K 75-inch with the IPS-ADS panel is a winner, in my opinion. Okay? Thanks.